Rock was good. See where Bob is at. T was popping. We're going to get to the bottom of this. Bob got a story to tell. He was a part of a lot of legendary stuff. So we got to give that man his due. If he decides to get on, we're going to see. He's texting me. Jay was good. Yo, Rock, now your brother's asking me how to get on live. He didn't ask me that all day. He's gonna wait till now to ask me that. And he's texting me. Paul was good. Jesus Peace 178 exclusive producer. They not ready for that. Yo, but why is Bob? Where he at? Yeah, Bob is different, man. Let me see. He's not even in here. Oh, man. There he goes. You got good Wi-Fi?
Yeah, I was trying to figure this shit out.
What's good, brother? How you been? How's the family?
Family good. Everybody's good. Thank God. How you doing?
I'm not like you. I'm not doing them things you doing over there where you live at. Them, you know, them. I'm not.
Nah.
What's good, Bob? You ready to get into this?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, at what age would you say you picked up the ball?
Shit.
And who put the ball?
I picked up a ball. I would say 8 or 9. I was about 8 or 9. I come from Manhattan. I lived on 104th Street, right across the street from Douglas Projects.
Bob, I can't hear you.
To basketball.
Couldn't hear you.
You hear me? You hear me now?
Now I do. Yep.
Nah, what I was saying
Say
is,
that again. The 8 or 9.
so about 8 or 9 is when I got introduced to basketball. My older brother introduced me to basketball. I would say probably around that age, we used to go to the park a lot. We used to play all types of sports: football, basketball, baseball. One sport stuck, and it was basketball. One day, my brother he was always hooping, and one day he was hooping, and I shot a few shots with him, if I remember, and I started I actually liked shooting the ball. It was cool, and after that, I would see myself every day in the park shooting. It didn't matter if it was snowing, raining. It didn't matter anything, man. We were out there. We would make a path in the snow, we'd shoot, and that's all we did. That's all I cared about. I just wanted to put it up. I didn't want to play no defense. I didn't want to do none of that. You already know. So, yeah, man, I would say around that age, and then the local tournaments come, the youth tournaments.
Yeah.
You get into that. You get into the local tournaments like Ray Diaz, the GOAT. Got the GOAT. You got Big Vic. Shout out to Big Vic on 93rd. Shit, you got a lot of local youth, where it was pretty competitive. You had blocks. You had 84th Street. That was really good. This is my young days. I'm talking about my young days. This is when I first started playing. But
How
go ahead.
How old are you in this when you started playing organized?
When I started playing organized, after going outside and just playing every day and just falling in love with the sport, they Douglas had they had what you call a Saturday program, and
Okay.
the program they offered academics in the morning and athletics in the afternoon, and basketball so happened to be one sport they offered,
Okay.
and they would put us in teams. And I remember when I was walking to the gym, and I remember I was walking to the gym, and I walked in to sign up for the next season. I was late on the last season, and I remember seeing Jay Wingate. Jay Wingate he started playing ball when he was about 5 or 6, and mind you, I'm 9, 8, and I remember seeing Jay Wingate was going at it with I don't know if you recall Majestic Map, his little brother Shalal Map.
Okay.
Shalal Map was tough.
All right.
That kid at a young age, he had it. He had the yo-yo, and I walked in and I'm seeing these two kids, and I'm like, damn, I just started playing ball. These kids, they 26, getting 28, 32, super biddies. I'm like, they got the rim up. They put up the little rim.
Yeah.
I'm like, you little mofos is getting fucking buckets. I'm looking at these kids like, what the fuck? I gotta get, I gotta catch up. And this is my
Yeah.
youth. This is me just being introduced to some type of organized basketball. So I ain't know shit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So when I walked in there, we started the youth league, and I started playing the next season, and I started playing against Jay Wingate, 5th grade, and little local stuff like that. Getting acquainted with other people, playing against other people, and then it goes into my middle school career, junior high school.
Okay. What school did you go to for junior high school?
I went in 6th grade. I went to SAAE. It was School of Academics, Athletics, Excellence. It was a new school. It was out for a few years, and it was located in Joan of Arc.
Okay.
And that school was part of the district. So you had the IS-44, you had the Booker T. Washington, you had West Side Academy where Jay Wingate was going. So my sixth grade year, I ain't know nobody where they could be like, yo, go to this junior high school. You know what I mean? You'll be taken care of. I ain't know no really basketball program. So when we were doing the list, and I was sitting there with my athletics in the name. So I'm like, yeah, that's all I want to do. I just want to shoot.
Yeah.
I just want to ball. That's all I just want to. Yeah, they got a basketball program. Let me shoot. That's all I wanted to do, man. And I ended up signing up for that school, but it's a small world because. So
You broke
Mousy,
up. You broke up. All that came through was Mousy.
oh no, I was saying that my first when I signed up for 6th grade and I went to this brand new school, small world. I walked into school, my first day of class, 6th grade, and Mousy Michael Wilson.
Yeah.
He was in 6th grade too. So I seen him. I'm like, oh, okay. So there's gonna be a couple of ballers in this school, and then mind you, in the 8th grade, you had in that school, on the 8th grade varsity team, you had Roscoe Biggers, and you had Ryan in the backcourt.
Okay.
Ryan from 109 that played with 84th.
Yep.
Shout out to Ryan. That's my nizzle right there. Yeah. Shout out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they were in the backcourt, whatever, and they I don't know if they end up winning it. I know I was watching Jay Wingate's interview, and I remember he said that they end up winning it. So I'm not too sure on that.
Okay.
But that was my 6th grade year. We played me and Mousy was in the backcourt. We played 6th grade ball. We played a couple of 8th grade teams, but like we would play like the nerdy schools, like Calhoun on 84th, like real nerdy schools and stuff like that. So it benefited me though. I looked at it as me playing with another kid like Mousy on that level. Mousy was on a different level in 6th grade. You know what I mean? Mousy knew how to get to the basket. He knew how to create a shot. Mind you, I just started playing ball, so
Yep.
I learned a lot from Mousy that 6th grade year, and yeah, man, it goes into. You want me to keep going? Goes into 7th grade.
Absolutely.
So yeah, man. So after 6th grade, whatever, I start playing with Douglas. In the summertime, I'm just local kid trying to find that door. The door to open to get on that other level, play against other people. And going into 7th grade, my brother at the time, shout out to Rock.
Your brother at the time, he's not your brother anymore?
at the time, he was going to Beacon.
Okay.
And he was killing over there. It was the division they were in. It wasn't made for the team that he played on. They had a squad over there. But anyway, he was going to Beacon, and he got introduced to Hallows.
Okay.
And Ed Gonzalez is this dude that coached Hallows.
Yep.
He doesn't coach Hallows no. I think he coached Lockdown now. But this dude that coached Hallows, he got Rock into Hallows. Rock wanted to play on another level. He wanted to play against more competition and stuff like that. So him going into the Archdiocese League, he was gonna get to play against the Kenny Sass, the Dyree Wilsons, the Ant Glovers, and all those other people. So when he made that transition to Hallows, I was at the same time I was already transferring to 7th grade to Jason Wingate School.
Oh, Westside Academy?
Yeah, Westside Academy. So the way that happened was Ed Gonzalez had he was cool with Jason Wingate's coach at junior high school, Ed Rosen. So he was like, yo, listen, I don't speak to Bobby. Jason Wingate's coach was telling Ed Gonzalez, I don't speak to Bobby, but if you can make that call. And I heard Jay Wingate was going over, he was over already. He was going into 7th grade. He went to Westside Academy already. He had played his freshman year. He played varsity and got MVP. So I'm looking at it like, oh, this is an opportunity.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't get that opportunity. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going into 7th grade with this kid's mindset. This kid's in 7th grade. He's the #1 kid in the nation. Now, I'm talking about nation. Like, I'm not even talking about the city.
Yeah.
And everywhere you see Jay Wingate name. So I'm like, I get to go play on, in the backcourt with him, and I get to feed off of him and learn his mentality at a young age. His mental toughness was on a whole nother level. See, a lot of people don't understand that. You know what I mean? They can say whatever they want, but Jay's mentality was killed. And it was at 6th grade, 5th grade. You know what I mean? We got a lot of, our class is crazy. Our class, it took time for certain people to kill. But you know what I mean? Like, Jay had that at 5th grade, 4th grade, Milbank. Like he said, he wasn't even on team. He was playing 15-year-olds.
Yeah.
Like Jay had it. He had it. He was there. But anyway, 7th grade, I come into school. Jay welcomed me, whatever. You know what I mean? We there. Right off the bat, he introduced me to Riverside Church.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh, okay. I'm starting to see. I'm like, all right. So, I remember the first day we went, tryouts. Tryouts usually happen in Riverside before the middle school tournament started. And I remember he took me, and Bingo was coaching 12 and under. And he had the Jasons and the Rickies, and, they were young. They played 11 and under the year before. So it was 12-year-old trials, and he brought me. And he pretty much took me right to Bingo, like, yo, this is Bob, yo, he's going to try out. He put me right on the spot, bro. He put me on the team. They didn't even let me warm up, bro. I was the first 5, man. It was like, yo, wow. Yeah. Sweaty palms. I'm like, damn. Pause. I'm like, yo. So they put me and Jay on the same team, right? Me and Jay on the same team. Figures, right?
Yeah.
First play of the game, you know what Jay do? Pass me the ball. Go. I'm like, oh, man. You know me, I had no handle. I didn't know how to create a shot. Shout out to Rock, man. Shout out to my older brother. I did the Diddity Bop. The move he taught me. One, hezzy, and just go right by him. I went right by him. I laid it up. Thank God was with me. I made that shot.
Yeah.
And that shot right there. And I just remember guarding Rick on the other team, but I didn't know who Rick was. Rick was some long, skinny Dominican. Yo. Man, Rick's feet, man. Rick was like a size 17 in the 6th grade, bro. Yo, that was my initial way out. I was holding Rick, and I knew Rick was nice because everybody was just like, he was the man. He was there. He was killing. I seen him play before us.
Okay.
And I ain't let him score. And, you know, I made the team, and we ended up playing against, the coach was Thurman player. Thurman ended up coaching us 12 and under, and I learned a lot that year, man. I learned at a young age discipline. I learned how, discipline, of course, comes with less turnovers, assist and turnover ratio. I learned how to be effective. I was learning how to be effective without having the ball in your hand. You know what I mean? Having that mentality, like, yo, listen, I know I'm not the most athletic person on this team right here, but yo, if I could find a way to stay on this court and find a way to win and be productive, yo, man, that's what it was, and that's what Thurm did. He got the best of you, and that's what if you didn't give up, and you already know you were on the court all day. Me, Rick, that team was me, Rick, Petey Nelson from Christ the King. That was young. Lonzo Brown. We used to start 4 or 5 guards, and yeah, man, 7th grade going into that was AAU. Going into 7th grade.
That was your first time ever playing AAU, 7th grade?
Yeah, but we didn't go. We like the farthest we went was like Ohio.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like we didn't really get crazy yet, but we were young. They didn't really have, crazy tournaments where you go, you go to Arizona. Well, they actually went to Arizona the year before, but they didn't really have that for like the 7th grade, 8th grade. But when you get into high school, that's when you're going all over,
Okay, got it. So 7th grade, you going to school with Jay Wingate. How did that season pan out for you?
Oh man, those are the fun days, man. I didn't have to do nothing. I picked a spot, and Jay was the most unselfish player I ever played with my whole life. And but I don't know, Rick is up there too. But I picked the corner. And you already know it was, Jay do his little 1-2 in and out, crossover, spin move, whatever he wanted to do, and kick out. But we end up, we had battles though in 7th grade. I'm gonna get into this. You had Rick Soliver who went to Booker T. No, excuse me, my bad. He went to IH-44.
Okay.
You had Carol Walkman who went to Booker T.
Okay.
And then you had who else? And then me and Jay went to Westside Academy, and probably a couple other teams out there I can't think of right now. But me and Jay was playing against Rick one night, Booker T, and that's how I got to know Rick. We were all in the same district. And we would play against each other. And me, Jay, I'll have 37, 35. Jay had 40. Like, yo, we were just 2 scoring machines. And the rest of the team had like 6. And we doing this on Rick. We doing this on, but we would lose. Because it didn't take rocket science to stop 2 guys. He started just throwing mad people at us. But it taught me a lot, man. It taught me how to handle the ball, how to be aggressive. How to break that press by yourself. I got a little quicker in 7th grade. I started off slow, but yeah, man, in 7th grade we had some battles, but the game that really put us over the top, I gotta say, was in 8th grade. But if you got any other questions you want to ask before I tell that story, where we played against Mark Carmel and Kiki and all them, and how we beat them and how how that happened, let me know. You got any questions? So going into 8th grade, we got the Riverside. We summertime. We going Ohio, not local, but nothing crazy. We going away, whatever. Getting the exposure, nothing crazy. We come back 8th grade season start. We were scheduled to be in a tournament, or Hallows tournament. It was a high school, or Hallows was hosting a junior high school tournament. It had Mark Carmel in there. Mark Carmel, they were like on some crazy ESPN. I don't even know. Correct me if I'm wrong, man. But I don't know what type of magazine, but it was a loud magazine. They had like the starting 5, a picture of them in the front page. It was like Slam or something. Okay. And I remember that. I'm like, damn, yo, we gotta play these mofos. They had Kiki, they had Devon Folks, who was like top 3. He came out of nowhere. He was 6'6". They had Steve Bird. We in 8th grade, so we making power. We trying to make power moves into high school. The Rices, the Hollow. We trying to get where we,
Did you already know before you got to that level, did you already know where you wanted to go to high school based on your brother, or was it still up in the air based on basketball?
I was locked in. I was
Oh,
locked in. I was locked in. I was locked in right when I transferred to seventh grade. I was locked in with all Hallows.
okay, got
They
it.
showed me, I mean, like, I'm not gonna say they showed me the most love. They had access to me first, but nobody didn't know about me. But the key thing about what all Hallows did was they stuck with me. You know what I mean? Like, once I
Got
started getting good, all these other schools are there. They ain't just say, yeah, we got him on lock. We'll call him when he graduates. Nah, they were calling me every day. They were going to every game. I was like, yo, they didn't have to, but I was locked in, man. And academically, that's one of the top schools, or at the
Yep.
time was one of the top schools in the Bronx. And you already know, when they pitching that to your mom and your pops, oh,
Yeah.
he going there, and I'm looking at them like, this shit hard, like, nah, but I was all for it, man. You know what I mean? Like, so, yeah, man. So, yeah, I ended up committing in like seventh grade, all Hallows.
So you already knew that.
I knew it right away. And let me
Okay.
get it. Let me point something out. Yeah, seventh grade. So, me and Jay was tight, you know, and we wanted to go to the same high school. So when I went into seventh grade, they were pitching all Hallows already to him in sixth grade because he got that
Okay.
MVP. So when they pitching, they pitching all Hallows to him. He supposedly he was ready, but I know when I came into seventh grade and we started talking to lingo about what high school we were gonna go to. I remember him telling me Rice.
Mm.
I remember him. He was committed to Rice by the start of seventh grade. His cousin went to Rice, so I remember he was committed to Rice. So I'm like, I'm not trying to go to Rice. I'm trying to look for an opportunity where I could maybe call my name in one day, you know what I mean, and leave a mark. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to, Rice, don't get me no disrespect to Rice. Rice, they had one of the best teams. You can argue every day about the teams they had in the past, but at the end of the day, man, like I'm trying to make those stories out of Hallows.
Yep.
So I'm looking at it in eighth grade and seventh grade. So when he said that, I'm starting to think about building a foundation around me. So when I go into all Hallows, you know what I mean? Like, but I'll get
Yeah.
into that though in like a few minutes.
Absolutely. So
But
what was that grade, Mount Carmel, you was talking about?
yeah, so we had a great year that eighth grade, and I think the tournament was at the end of the year, and we went to all Hallows to play the tournament. They had a middle school tournament, and we washing everybody, they washing everybody, and I mean, I'm not there yet, but I'm thinking in my mind like I'm going crazy. You just got to go crazy. Like
Yeah.
I had that mentality, and thank God I did for that game because, you know, Jay had a chip on his shoulder. You know what I mean? Jay's been doing it for a few years already, and he's already out there. So I'm thinking to myself like, this is a big game for me. Like, yo, this is the All Hallows tournament. I'm already, doing my thing. So I gotta step up in this game. I can't be looking crazy. You know what I mean? Like, and then you had like other high schools coming to the game. You had Zavarians, you had the Mo Hicks in the stands, and I don't know if anybody knows about the Hallows gym, but we had a dungeon, and but in the middle school tournament we ended up playing, tipped off with Mark Carmel, and yeah, man, we had to get him out of here.
Oh, y'all won?
Yeah, we had to get him out of here. Yeah, everybody was talking about, oh, this is the top five. They're gonna go to the top schools, and no disrespect, they did. You know what I mean? All love, but you know what I mean? Like, I had something to prove, and at that moment, it was just for me to prove it, and I ended up having like 33. Jay had about 38. I think the rest of the team had about 8, and we ended up beating them. And I remember Mo Hicks coming down to the stand saying, "Y'all want to speak to you too." Trying to say, "I want you guys to stick together, whatever."
Yeah.
And I gave Mo Hicks the cold show. No, I didn't. I spoke to Mo Hicks, whatever. We talked, whatever. Nothing was written in stone. And I just did keep in touch with him. I eventually told him that I was going to All Hallows, and Jay, that's what he wanted. I mean, he already committed to
Rice.
me. He already committed to Rice.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, Jay was he was off there, but sometimes I think about what if, what if me and Jay would have went to high school together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Abs-
It wasn't him and Kiki, but they made history, man. So it worked out well for both of my brothers.
no, absolutely. Absolutely. So after this 8th grade, after you beat them, how far do y'all go?
In 8th grade,
Yeah.
I think we went to the semifinals or the city, and we lost. We lost to some no name. No wait, no way. Whoa, 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 whoa. We lost in the semis to Ricky and them.
Okay.
We lost to Ricky and them, and Rick had they was stacked. They had a team. They had
Yeah.
they had chemistry. Like yo, me and Jay just passing each other the ball. Like it don't. It's not hard to stop that eventually. Eventually, like yo, just put two niggas on him and put one and hold Bob. That's it. Bob ain't gonna do
Yeah.
much. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So y'all lost in the semis in 8th grade.
Yeah, in 8th grade we lost in the semis, and it was cool though. You know what I mean? We were looking. We were out of it though. We were looking to the future. We had committed to these high schools. You know what I mean? And we were just ready for the next level. You know what I mean? We were ready for the summertime going into our freshman year, playing AAU. It was a big year going into your high school freshman year. You know what I mean? The AAU is the level kicks up a notch, and you starting to see like these head coaches coming in, and they start seeing you up close, and you like, oh sheesh. You know what I mean? You got K there. But we'll get into that though when we get to that part.
That's what I wanted to know about your eighth after school's done. In between 8th grade and 9th grade, what was that summer like for you on the AAU circuit?
That was a big jump for us because, like I said, we were going into high school. We were going into our freshman year, and we had Riverside. We went back to our AAU team, Riverside, and they had a couple of trips ready for us. And I
Okay.
remember one trip we went to the Boo Williams trip. We played out in Boo Williams. We played in Virginia. It was in Virginia. Boo Williams still go on to this day. Famous tournament. Shout out to
Oh,
Boo Williams. But
gotcha.
went out there, whatever. And I remember before we were leaving, Omar Cook was arguing with Roscoe Biggers in front of the church.
Okay.
Roscoe got put on the team that they were the same age, so they were like 16, 17. But Roscoe got put on a team that went to like Ohio, and Old Cook was part of a team called the Rosins. They call
Got
the
it.
Rosins. You know what I mean? The Rosins is that team that is the All-American team that Riverside puts together from sophomores to senior year, and they put them together and they go through a Nike circuit.
Okay.
And the Nike circuit they go is like it's crazy, but we'll get into that. But it's like 4 or 5 trips in like 18 days.
Wow.
Yeah, and you playing against the best. And I remember Omar Cook was part of that team, and that was one of the best teams to go down besides the team before that. But that's a whole other story. But I remember Omar Cook and Roscoe. So Roscoe was always good to work somebody up. He was always arguing with somebody, whatever. But Roscoe
Yeah.
always proved it. You know what I mean? He always showed up with his game, and but it was all love at the end of the day. But I remember like just paying attention to the team Omar Cook was on, and I'm like, why can't I make that team? I'm in the right direction. I'm going in the right direction right now, but I got to step my game up. So I know going into freshman year or in that summertime, I learned a lot. I learned how to be more aggressive, with
Okay.
the ball, at least with the ball. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't playing no D still.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely no playing no D yet. Probably yeah. So I learned how to be aggressive with the ball. You know what I mean? Trying to create my shot and trying to get a little quick on my feet, get my legs under me, whatever. I started shooting well. I started seeing what I'm capable of doing when you work out and you get your legs under you and stuff like that. You starting to grow, your body's starting to grow. We hit Boo Williams, we hit a couple of tournaments that year, but it was nothing crazy though. It didn't get crazy yet.
What was the Riverside team like at that point?
It was Rice or Hallows. It was Christ the King. Me, Rick, Kiki, Jay Wingate, PD Nelson.
That's tough.
Yeah, man. We had people that never played with the church that could have played with the church, but I'll get into that another day. But yeah, man, we had a couple of other dudes. We had some dudes like that were like 6'6", and they played well on that in that big man position, and it fucked a lot of. And what I'm about to say right now fucked a lot of people's games up.
Yeah.
You know, I like to talk about Christian Brown a lot, where he didn't let that happen to him.
Okay.
You know what I mean, Christian Brown always had a yatty yat, but
Yeah.
he always create off the dribble. He was quicker than people his size, so that's all that mattered. But you know what I mean, like we had some people where it was like 6'6", and they weren't stopping them down low. But a year or two later, they still 6'6", playing the same position, and they put them on a wing, and then you know you stuck.
Yep.
So you run into, I ran into a lot of that, and a lot of kids start disappearing because you know we didn't. I'm not gonna say we didn't have the people around to humble these kids, you know what I mean? To say like, yo, listen, you only killing now because you 6'6" and you 12. Start working on your handles. You know, start working on your handle because next year, yo, you starting all over.
Yeah.
And we don't, I didn't see a lot of people like that. You know, at least for the coaches that I played for, they always looked out. They always try to teach. But you know what I mean? There's a lot of coaches that couldn't teach that.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? But no excuses. And yeah, man. Going into that summer was big.
How'd y'all do summer traveling with that team?
We didn't lose. We never lost. We never used to lose like that. That's what freaked me out. Like we used to go into games with 4 guards, and our big man used to be like 6'4", and we used to hit like 7 threes in like the first 18 seconds. Man, it was crazy. Like, yo, it was Kiki used to come off the bench. Like, why? Kiki used to come off the bench and hit 6 threes and go eat. Like, we were so young. We were so full of basketball, man. Like, we didn't even care about the games. We cared about practice.
Got you.
Like, yo, we were like, yo, we got practice at the church at 4 p.m. on June 18th. Like, it's 90 degrees outside. Yo, you ain't gonna go chill? You're not gonna miss practice? Nah, I'm going to practice. Like, yo, everybody going. Everybody showing up. Well, Hallows right there. Oh, they popping up. Yeah, Rick and them going. Yo, we used to fighting, going back and forth. You know what I mean? You used to have the battles, man. And, you know, the church wasn't a big gym either, so.
Yeah, it was competitive.
You know, you play smarter, man, and that gym helped me a lot too, playing smarter. You know what I mean? You just got to connect the dots on the court.
Absolutely. So after this 8th grade summer that you're having, are you already shooting the ball at a high level, or are you coming into your own still?
After, say that again, you were cutting up, bro.
Your 8th grade, that summer that you played, that you just said that you guys were running through every team in the summertime, right? You're about to be a freshman in Hallows. Your jump shot, is it already where what you're known for, or are you still coming into that as a ball player?
Going into Hallows?
Yeah.
Nah, I would say I'm still going into it. I still didn't have that that cockiness, you know what I mean? Like, where I'm like, yo, like, even if I miss, I take the chances, but I ain't had that yet. And
okay.
You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. There was certain situations where I had it, and there were certain situations where I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean? So you got to build your confidence, and I don't think I had it at that moment going into my freshman year. But let me backtrack a little bit. The way we went into my freshman year, I remember in the 8th grade, knowing that Jay was going to Rice.
Yep.
And I was going to Hallows. I remember Ed Gonzalez. I went to Ed Gonzalez, who recruited me to go to Hallows. And I told him, I said, yo, I need to bring a team with me. Like, I need by my senior year, I need to have a chance at a city championship at least.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I need to find 5 people or 4 people that are gonna ride crazy with me. No more. But I know you got the bench and all that, but I just needed a 5, man.
Yeah.
I ain't think about the bench and nothing like that. And he asked me who I had in mind, and I think I started with Rick first. No, I started with Kirill.
Okay.
Kirill, I used to see Kirill. We used to play against him at Booker T. And he used to come to Douglas. He played with Douglas, and I used to play with him until I started playing with Riverside. And Kirill came over, and I spoke to him in Douglas one time. I'm like, yo, like, let's try to make that move. Come to Hallows or whatever. It's a good school academically. Kirill was real smart. So his
Yeah.
parents was always looking to challenge him. He spoke like 27 languages. Kerry used to eat Europe food at lunchtime in Hallows.
So you got to go there, or they was already recruiting him?
I put him in front of the coach, and they started recruiting him, whatever. And then it was a match made in heaven. His mom said yeah right away. So I was like, oh, I got a 5'9", 6'9".
Yeah.
He wasn't even a clapper yet. He wasn't even a clapper yet. I'm like, yo, but he was terrible.
Okay.
Kerry was horrible, man. Kerry, I remember I used to guard him in the post and he didn't do nothing. But that just shows that from that time on to where he actually ended up being, that kid worked. You know what I mean? But and then you know we went off to Rick, and I said, yo, I need another wingman. You know what I mean? Like I don't know about the point guard position yet, but I'm gonna be the 2, and I need another wingman. So we went up to Rick. Rick was the hardest person to get.
Gotcha.
Rick, Rick's mom, and shout out to Rick, shout out to his family. I love Rick. His mom really strict, and just like any other parent should be. She was on it. You know what I mean? And she made sure that she met with Ed Gonzalez a few times. She had to visit to the school. Rick was he was tough. I showed up at his crib one time with Ed Gonzalez. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? This ain't college. I'm here. But Rick was a cheese, bro. Rick was 2K. Yeah. Rick was 2K. If he logged in, Rick was fucking 2K, man. It was like, you need a bucket, you just go to him.
Yeah.
But I got Rick to come, and then I couldn't think of a point guard because Jay left. He went to Rice.
Okay.
And I'm thinking of a point guard, and I thought of playing AAU. He played for Gauchos at the time. Marv McCullough.
Okay.
I already knew what Marv was about. Gritty point guard. Play you full court. Bother you all game. Play that deep. So I'm like, oh, this is perfect. Marv don't shoot.
Yeah.
Marv don't shoot. I said, all right. Nah, shout out to Marv, bro. Marv, big reason why we were so successful. But Marv wasn't a shooter. He didn't want to shoot. And you know what I mean? He shot it when he wanted to, but he let me and Rick. He didn't care about that. And that's how I looked at it. You know what I mean? Once I had that team together, I ain't get to pick a 4-man. But when we got into Hallows, there was a couple of 4-mans. Shout out to my man Idiongo, rest in peace. He was the 4-man that used to dunk on everybody. If you remember that kid.
Okay.
That was my brother right there, man. Shout out to him, rest in peace, praise his family, everything, man. That was my nizzle right there. He showed up big a lot of times, but yeah. But we went into 9th grade with those 4 people. It was me, Rick, Kiru, and Marv, and that's how we did it.
Also, y'all played all freshmen, or some of y'all played JV, or what was that? What was that situation like?
That's a great question.
Recruiting class.
So to backtrack a little tiny bit, Marv came with a perk. So Marv wanted a request. Okay. And for Marv, his parents wanted him to play boss right away.
Mm.
So I'm like, fuck. Like, damn. So I'm looking at Ed. I'm like, yo, honestly, if he thinks he can handle it, I don't mind. I don't want to take nothing away from my brothers. You know, I want them to if that's what he wants to do. You know what I mean? I kind of wanted to come in freshman year and be competitive. But, we still going to be competitive. Me, Rick, and there was a couple of other dudes that came into Hallows that were good at the time. But, Ed, he didn't have a problem with it, and he went ahead and let Marv play boss. And I remember that year, man, Marv showed out. Marv did his thing his freshman year. Surprisingly, he's a strong point guard. He was lifting weights when he was like in 2nd grade. So Marv already had muscles. You know what I mean? Okay. He was strong. You know what I mean? He played against Majestic Math that year. He showed out, did his thing, held his own. Majestic Math was already committed to Virginia that year, our freshman year. And he was a senior that year. So, yeah, man, Marv came with a perk. It was all good. And we went ahead and played freshman ball. It was me, Rick, Carol. I don't remember the other 2, but we had a decent team for my freshman year. You know what I mean? You want to get into that now, or?
Yeah, go ahead. How'd that go?
So we going into our freshman year, and Rice is looking loaded. Like
Yeah.
these nizzles had, whoo, they had 3 teams, 3 starting 5, bro. Freshman year,
Got it.
like one like like more than half of them niggas fell off. They were
Okay.
so talented, man. They were so talented, and they had players where you get those players where you just know they're gonna you just got a good feeling they're gonna mesh right away. And they
Yeah.
had a lot of them. They had Jay, Ricky, they had the whole Shaq, they had Christian Brown, they had every Lou Rodriguez. That was my boy right there. They had shit, man. They had Gary, I think. They had
Their
shit.
freshman year, they Wingate told me they didn't lose, I think.
Nah, they ain't lose.
All right,
Freshman
but
year,
Hallows, how'd y'all do your freshman year?
we went like 12-0. First
Okay.
12 games, so 12-0. We killing. We doing
Okay.
us. We beating all the teams, but we ain't play Rice yet. So we
Okay.
killing all the teams. But we
Okay.
young though. Remember, mind you, Maul went to bars.
Yeah.
Kerr was still getting better, and it's just me and
Okay.
Rick. So
Okay.
we playing against a loaded Rice team. They pressing us full court.
Gotcha.
Remember, Gauchos is their home court, so their
Yeah.
practices they were running mountains. Man, this was like
Yeah. Yes. That's crazy.
Hallows. You had to run 300 suicides just to get 20 in Gauchos.
Yeah.
Hallows is a dungeon, but that
Yes.
was no excuse, But they got us both times that year. They probably got us by double digits one out of 2 times, probably like 9 out of the time. But we was always playing catch up with them. You know what I mean? Like we would get tired, and they was just loaded that year. But that was the only team that was probably messing with us that year. We played St. Ray's. That's when Al Ray went to St. Ray's. Shout out to my nizzle Al Ray. He
Yeah.
he committed to St. Ray's, and it was a big thing because they already had the Julius Hodge. They already had the Pete Mulligan, the Donnie Jones, Darnell Jones, Matt
Yeah.
Gustin. They had a squad, man. So, but Al Ray going there just added on to the talent they had, and
Okay.
we beat them twice that year. My freshman year, St. Ray's. They weren't as deep. They couldn't. They were good, but they probably a few players away from actually being more competitive. But Rice, they were like 15 deep. They used to they used to take a school bus to games. That's how many people they had on the team.
So freshman year, y'all went 12-0. You said before y'all met Rice.
You caught up right at the end. What you saying, bro?
After you guys met up with Rice, how the rest of the freshman year go?
Oh, it was Gucci. We lost in the semis. Rice was on the other side, so they didn't beat us in the semis. We lost to Christ the King, I want to say.
Okay.
We lost to Christ King, who they actually played Rice in the chip freshman year. And they held the ball the whole game. Like, I didn't understand that. Like, what are you doing? You down 4. What are you doing holding the ball, though? Like, yeah, I didn't understand that.
Wingate said that.
Yeah, they held the ball the whole game. It was a low scoring game, like 30-26 or something like that. They won by 4, 5, 6, something like that. And Rice got the chip the freshman year, and then going into our sophomore year in the summertime. What happened?
You playing AAU still, right?
Yeah. So
now that you're in high school, that summer you're playing against a different type of competition now.
Right, it's getting more competitive now.
Yeah.
So we seen, again, we playing in our age group, but there's a lot of dudes freshman year that play varsity in other states, in Indiana, you know what I mean? And then when they go AAU, they play in our age group. So they getting that experience before we are. I'm playing freshman ball.
Gotcha.
You know, so I'm really looking forward to AAU because I'm like, yo, that's where the real comp is. Besides Rice and besides certain schools here and there, you smacking everybody else in the archdiocese if you have a good team. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So we go into AAU, and I think we were about 15, 16 years old, and we going into our sophomore year. I think I played Yeah, we didn't talk about sophomore year. So we're going to talk about sophomore year, whatever, and 15 under. And, now we're going to Kentucky. We're going to these bluegrass Nike AAU. They're not AAU. They're Nike Circuit tournaments where the best 24 selective AAU teams get selected. And Riverside was always included in Nike Circuit. They always was sponsored by Nike. So they used to be involved. And Riverside was always top 25, always getting selected to these circuits. But mind you, you're playing against the Carmelo Anthony. You're playing against the Bracy Wrights. I don't know if people remember Bracy Wright, but you're playing against a lot of Mari Stoudemire's, the J.J. Riddicks. You're playing against those type of people. It ain't AAU where you going to Florida and you're playing 17 days straight, 6 games a day, and by the time the championship come, you need an IV. Like it's not none of that. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's more competitive in the Nike circuit, and like we started playing against these All-Americans, and I would say we went to Kentucky, I would say, or was it Indiana? And that's where we first played against Carmelo Anthony, I believe, and he had 49, but we beat them.
Okay.
There was another game where Kiki, we took that one. We took the championship. That was a tournament that put us on the map. Like that's when I started getting flooded letters and just.
How were you?
Say that again?
How were you playing against all these top competition players from all over the?
That tournament, man, we all played well. I was playing well, man. That's when I was picking my game up. This is when I was getting my legs in, my body. I was getting stronger. I was getting more confidence in my shot. I had a little diddy bop here and there. I developed some handle. I started getting smarter with the game. Just watching a lot of other people do certain things, moves they do. I'll go back home, see people, lay it up a certain way, or see it just try to copycat, mimic games. Go back outside, see if I can lay it up with, 1-2. Just trying to be different, man. That's what you gotta understand. You want to be different. You want to be effective at the same time, so you can be sufficient on the court and you can stay on the court.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But yeah, we it didn't get crazy until I would say going after sophomore year, going into our junior year, that summer, that's where it got crazy with AAU, and that's where we went to Nike camp and we did our thing.
Okay, so going into your sophomore year in high school, you on JV or you on varsity?
Nah. So me, Rick, we stayed back and played another year JV. Okay. A lot of people like, yo, why you doing that? Why you doing that? I'm like, why not? You know what I mean? Like, we got some business that we got to take care of back here. So I don't know if you know our business, but we got shit to take care of in Hallows. So why wouldn't I do it? What business you talking about? What business you talking about? Don't worry about it. That's for us to understand what we're trying to build over there. We're trying to build a foundation. You know what I mean? We're trying to get better. We're trying to build that chemistry. So I looked at it like, yo, at first I could have went to Voss. Me and Rick could have went to Voss, but I wanted to build. I wanted our team to get stronger. I wanted that junior year team who, we had James Brown. Shout out to my brother James Brown. He's another. Yeah, we'll get into James Brown, but I wanted him to lead. I wanted them to build. He was a year older than me. He was going into Voss. I wanted them to have a chance to kind of build. And Marv was already up there, so Marv was gonna be going into his second year playing varsity with these guys, and me and Rick was gonna stay behind, and that's what we did. Me, Carol, Rick, and we had a couple other people. My boy Mike McKenzie. We had Polanco played with us, and we ended up going almost, I think, undefeated. If I want to say, I think we lost the last game, and we was game short from the championship. But that year helped us a lot. Again, it helped me get quicker. It helped me understand the game more. I started playing a little bit of defense. Okay. You know what I mean? Carrie was about defense, so he. Unless you want him screaming at you, throwing the ball at your head all day in practice, doing stupid shit, you got to start playing some defense once you get to a level if you want to, stay on that court.
Gotcha. So you guys lost one game short of the championship your sophomore year.
Right, yeah, we lost to Malloy, and it's crazy because the same shit that happened with us and Malloy my sophomore year happened my junior year, but Yeah, man. I remember we played them in the scrimmage, and I had 58 on them in Hallows.
Damn.
It was JV, but I still had 58 on them, and that right there put me over the top. That's when, and the only reason I actually shot that much was because Rick was suspended, I think, for like 2 games or whatever. So it was just me just chucking and just trying to, just trying to become stronger, man. Just trying to get in shape. I used that time. It was just me. I knew I was gonna get triple team. I knew we were probably gonna, probably lose a game or 2 here and there. But I was just trying to get quicker. They had a play for me where I run off of 2 screens, and I was just trying to understand how to come off screens and stuff like that. Because you go home and you watch these college games. These mofos coming off screens. You know what I mean? You got to know how to come off a screen, and you got to know how to defend a screen. So you start paying attention to certain techniques and stuff like that.
Absolutely. So the summer of your sophomore going into junior year.
The summer, oh man, that was
And let me ask you one question. What
yeah.
year did the recruiting start for you for college? When did the letters start?
So the letters don't, like, when you play varsity in high school and you become good and you're out there whatever and people see you, they don't start usually coming until when you start playing varsity.
Okay.
But
Okay.
we played so much AAU and we was already out there that they started coming like sophomore year. I would
Okay.
get a few letters here and there, and it boosts your confidence. It's how you take it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
A lot of kids these days, and I said a comment earlier. A lot of kids these days need to humble up because they see something like that and they think, oh man, I'm good. Let me relax. Let me be media core. I'm comfortable where I'm at.
Yeah.
But if you want to get to the next level, you got to keep reaching. I mean, you got to keep going hard, man. You got to keep moving. You know what I mean? The worst thing that can happen is you're gonna improve. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So what was that summer like in between your sophomore and junior year?
That was Nike camp. That was Nike camp. I remember when I got selected. It was fun. It was fun. I remember when I got selected for Nike camp, and it was me, Rick, Kiki, Jay, a couple other people got selected. But Riverside was willing to pay for the expenses. I think you have to pay for your own expenses, but what I mean, like, we got, our AAU programs were able to, provide, fund the situation. And I think our AAU team, which is Riverside, and I really appreciate it because there's a lot of AAU teams where you gotta raise money. We didn't have to do none of that. But anyway, a little off topic. But yeah, man, we went to Nike camp. It was a trip where we were away for about 15, 14 days straight. And we were on the road. And when I say we, it was me, Rick, Kiki, Jay Wingate. Everybody. I was going to Nike camp. Nike camp started the day after July 4th, my junior year. And it was a big opportunity. Amari Stoudemire was out there. So we hearing all these big time names going out there, and we ready. You know what I mean? Like, we always look forward to AAU competition because, like I said, in the Archdiocese, it wasn't that competitive. It wasn't like AAU. You know what I mean? You playing against the best around the country. So, we went to AAU. We flew out there. It was in Indianapolis, and we spent, I don't know, a few days out there, and it was worth an experience, man. It was interesting. You know what I mean? I met a lot of people out there. I got cool with a lot of people out there. I got cool with a lot of All-Americans. My roommate was Boobie Gibson. You know what I mean? Me and him chopped it up. We got cool. He was a sophomore, actually. I was a junior. He was a youngin. He was already out there where he was gonna, be All-American and he was gonna make it far or whatever. But yeah, man. I was in the Kiki was out there. Kiki took his game from another level after when he went to Nike camp. That's where Kiki showed out. There was a lot of Kiki had everybody. When he came back from Nike camp, he showed out. He was the one that probably killed the most in Nike camp.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, that was worth an experience because we going to Nike camp. I didn't lift weights.
Yeah.
I ain't had my legs under me.
Okay.
Playing ball every day, playing Riverside games every day. Not stretching, not knowing about certain little things like that, or knowing about it, or just being, making a bad choice and not stretching and just balling all day. Like, you got to be disciplined with yourself as a person. You got to take care of your body. You know,
Absolutely.
you got to look for things in. Everybody's like, oh yeah, I was stretching a little bit. And they end up stretching later. They never stretch. You end up getting hurt. You know what I mean? But going into Nike camp, I didn't. I wasn't strong. You know what I mean? There was a lot of us that was like, all right, cool. When we got back from Nike camp, it was like, we got to start hitting the weight room. You know what I mean?
But how did it go for you? How'd Nike camp go for you? Playing against all these top recruits. How'd you?
Nike, like I said, Nike camp was very competitive, bro. Day in, day out, we playing against the best. In my little pool, I remember it was 6 teams in each pool, and I remember I had J.J. Riddick in my pool, so I already knew I was going to play against J.J. Riddick. I had Amari Stoudemire in my pool, so I already knew I was going to play against him. And I think it was the second game we played against Amari Stoudemire in Nike camp. And I remember Amari Stoudemire fouled out our whole team. I actually did well, though. I did real well. I was just shooting threes, man. They don't play defense out there. It's up to you if you got your legs under you and you knock it down. But, what I mean? I don't mean literally, like, wide open. But, what I mean? They coming up on you. They got a hand. You know what I mean? People are tired. They coming from other AAU tournaments. So, it's a struggle. But at the same time, like I said, you got to take care of your body. You got to get strong. You got to be prepared for these camps. You know what I mean? You're going to be playing every day. But, yeah, man, I had my games here and there. You know what I mean? I had my days where, I struggled because I didn't have my legs under me. You know what I mean? I didn't know about, squatting and doing all that. I was in high school still.
Yeah. Absolutely. You didn't know too much about conditioning yet?
Nah, me, I didn't have to run around. I was just in the corner all day, wop wop, and I was just letting loose. And I had come on, I got great guards around me. Riverside, I got Kiki, I got Rick, I got Jay. You know what I mean? I got spoil you. You know what I mean? You gotta you get spoiled. You tend to forget how to continue to work on your game and be different. But man, at the same time, I still worked hard. I just there were certain situations where you just like, yeah, I'm gonna just chill, get that pass and I'll be all right. But yeah, man, that summer, man, and going back to Nike camp, playing against J.J. Riddick. I remember we played against them my third game.
Okay.
Ooh. I remember J.J. Riddick trying to post me up. Yeah, he was a 6'4" guard. You know what I mean? Playing against him, he actually probably one of the hardest people to defend off a screen.
Gotcha.
And I mean coming off a screen. It's like, yo, when I say shoulder to shoulder, like, you would think he takes his shoulder off and goes.
Bob, it's 2 minutes left. I'm going to log out and log back in.
All right.
All right, bet.
One.